We've got a couple biology goals. One is some deep sea corals. If we find particularly any species that haven't been heavily sampled previously from this area, or anything that looks like it may be a new species or a species that we might just have images but no biological specimens for. And that's going to help us to characterize and better understand the deep sea coral communities here. And that's also how we get our reference material for our eDNA studies. We're also hoping to get some halotherians, some sea cucumbers, for doing some gut microbiome analysis to learn more about the food web here in the deep sea. And then we are also looking to collect more environmental DNA samples. And so those are water samples that we collect that we are filtering aboard the ship, and we're able to, back in the lab, extract DNA right out of that water sample. And what that does is it gives us a picture of the whole community in the area without having to go in and sample each individual animal.
Thank you.
So far, corals have been fairly thin. I'm seeing a few stalks that may be crinoids, but we'll get into denser communities, I'm sure, as we get shallower. We're really deep right now for coral. They do occur at these depths, but just not in the really high densities that you get just slightly shallower. I think that's a Brisingid star there in the right, just to the right of the lasers.
Go ahead and push on in a wee bit there, please, video. Interesting.
Or it might be marine debris.
Bubble real quick?
Probably is. Go ahead. Full wide, please.
That's not a star. I think it's debris of some sort.
Kind of look like line that was
Yeah.
coiled, right?
In some of the cameras, I see some white specks floating around. Is all of that ocean snow?
Yeah, mostly.
Yep, that will be a little bit of marine snow. It's not nearly as dense here as you would get, say, close to a coast. We're way out offshore, so the water is very, very clear, but that is marine snow, and some of it will actually be small, like invertebrates as well.
That's really cool. And you mentioned that's the main food source for marine animals down here on the seafloor. Is that right?
Yes, that's what almost all the community down here is eating: marine snow or deposit feeding once it lands on the bottom. But that's what's feeding all of the corals and sponges down here.
That's really cool. Thanks.
So what exactly is marine snow?
Marine snow is basically all of the leftover, for lack of a better word, waste, but biological products that are filtering down from above, and that can be phytoplankton that are dropping down out of the surface layer. That can be clumps of phytoplankton that have died and are sinking down. That can be what we call fecal pellets, which are the poop material from small zooplankton and deceased small zooplankton themselves. In some areas of the ocean, you'll get larvaceans that form these big mucus houses, and they discard those, and those drift down to the seafloor as well. So it's all the kind of biological products and debris that are forming in the surface layers that then sink down into the deep. Liz, who was on our last watch and will be on again for the 8 to 12 watch in the morning, is actually studying what component of marine snow that a lot of these animals are able to eat and digest. Basically, it's not a really nutritionally dense food, so studying them to find out how they're surviving on it. And I'm sure viewers want to chime in for the next 8 to 12. She can answer a lot of questions on that.
I'm assuming that on the dive log right here, the times 2 comps, and it's like percentage. It's just these two right here.
Yeah.
So what would you say that is right now?
50%.
Okay.
I think it's to the fill line.
From the top to the bottom?
I think from the top to the fill, probably. Unless when it went in, it was labeled as 75%. Yeah, that one's not really standardized, unfortunately. Another halotherian here. Very full halotherian. Yeah, go ahead and push on in, please, video. Oh. Look how full that one is. Wow. It's a lot of sand.
Gross. I can't stop looking.
Yeah, it's kind of mesmerizing, isn't it? Look at all that. Okay, full wide, please.
That's exactly what Liz is trying to sample.
Interesting. Those
Crap.
are so much fun to sample. They just like slurp up like spaghetti. So cool. The current down here is surprisingly strong, and it doesn't really show it in the marine snow, which is interesting.
You could really see it with that halotherian. It was barely hanging onto that rock.
Yeah. But you'd expect the sediment in the water to be blowing around too.
Little small rocks.
More rocks.
Here's another halotherian sea cucumber.
Yeah. Do a quick zoom there, please, video.
Zooming in.
Whoa, it's a big one.
Cool colors.
I don't know why they're called sea cucumbers. With all this salt water, you think they'd be like sea pickles.
That's a good point, honestly. I mean, whoever had a cucumber that looked like that has
That
a very
way-
disturbed garden.
Yeah.
Full wide, please.
That way you can
Wow.
easily differentiate from like fresh and salt water. You know, one's a cucumber and the pickle one's obviously in the sea.
Obviously.
I need to go to the next nomenclature convention.
Got to set them straight there, Michael.
Yeah. Things just have to make sense.
Mm-hmm.
So would this be a lobular flow?
Lobate?
Lobate, yes.
Yeah, so this would be a pretty lobate flow. It's going downhill under high hydrostatic pressure, that's why it's kind of bubbly. Relatively low flow rate though, so it's kind of infilling on itself. It quenches the top layer, forms glass, and then it fills from the inside out as lava keeps pumping into it and makes these kind of bubbly structures, pillow-like structures. It's very common for the deep flanks of these seamounts. Yeah, when picking the dive site, we were looking at the deep sea currents in the area, and we tried to find ones that are relatively strong in this direction, because that's usually good for filter feeders, but this just seems like there's so little material in this area, there's still not a lot of life.
What is that? Oh, it looks like just dirt.
And
Kevin, how do they determine what the deep sea currents are?
That's a great question that I don't have a good answer to. Well, a lot of it's based on models, and then occasionally there's some monitors in some areas. But yeah, I don't have a great answer. Maybe Emil in the chat can help me out.
Looks like there's another one of those fish over there. So we get a better shot of its head this time. Go ahead and push on in there a bit, please.
That is a cutthroat eel.
Sounds hardcore.
It's in a metal band, I think.
Yeah.
I'm gonna come a little wide there. Should be good. Oh. Full wide, please.
Full wide.
That's a nice little star there. Not marine debris this time.
Go ahead and push on in there a bit, please.
Zooming in.
That's a crinoid, a feather star.
Got some more zoom if you want.
Go ahead and push on in there tighter, please. These are really neat. It's hanging on to the back there.
I love watching them swim.
Full wide, please.
Full wide.
How's everyone feeling for the first midnight watch of the expedition? Well, Chris, you've been already doing midnight watches.
Yeah.
It's a pretty quiet
There you
control
go.
van tonight.
Yeah. This is my
Yeah.
fault, guys. This is supposed to be the party watch.
We already named a metal band, right? I mean, that's
Yeah.
Yeah.
cutthroat eel.
When you get a chance, can you zoom on some of these nodules? The
Sure.
little small round ones.
Sure thing. Instead of just blowing by them. Sorry about that.
We do have a request to see if we can sample some nodules that are in, sediments if we find them.
Ah, Reg, I see. Well, let's take a look now. Can you go ahead and push on in there, please?
Zooming in.
Like a bunch of tiny little boulders.
Yeah, those are perfect little nodules. Do we have time to grab a few?
Not in our current configuration, but we can go ahead and stop the ship and I'll swing out in front of us. It takes a bit longer to do the sample, the nodule grabs. Pull wide, please.
Wide.
Bridge nav. Hold position.
If you even want to back it up a little
Yeah,
bit.
I'm gonna.
Reg.
Bridge nav, 40 meters, 225.
Thanks, Chris.
Mm-hmm.
I really like the nodules. They're like some kind of cartoon rock garden on the seafloor.
Yeah, they don't almost seem real, that they're all perfectly round. These ones follow them most likely diagenetically, which means water escaping the seamount will go up through the sediments where it leaches out the iron and manganese, and then it precipitates them when it hits the surface. And it creates these little nodule fields in little patches of sediment among the seamount. And it's not well understood, these specific type of nodules.
Just had a chrysagorgid coral go by on the right.
Hopefully we stay in the nodule field for a while, for another couple meters. It seems to just keep going though.
Yeah, it's surprising. The high packet looks fairly normally steep over here, but there's lots of these little nodules, little pocket.
Yeah.
Must be right on the ridge axis, kind of a little more flat.
Yeah, if you get a little valley or depression, even if it's fairly small, you can get sediment accumulation and you find these nodules.
Question for you guys. So usually for I'm assuming we're going to use the scoop with the mesh on it, or would you guys just want the regular scoop?
Scoop with the mesh, I believe, is what was requested.
Okay. So that one only fits in starboard E and F.
Could we put it on top of the samples in E, since it's very different from that rock we grabbed before?
Yeah, it's just the little, it might not close with a large rock underneath it.
Okay.
So we might have to put it in with the sponge.
Okay.
But that might crush the sponge. We can also scoop it and put it in the forward, but without the mesh. Your guys' call.
Yeah, I think scoop it and put it on the forward then. It'll be
Okay.
safer. Yeah.
Then we won't be able to use the one with the mesh, but it's all the same at that point. Is that okay?
Yeah, that should be fine.
Okay, great.
You okay for DVL reset?
Yes, please. Back row, yeah, it just takes a while for us to get settled out when we're so deep with all the layback in the cable, so. But we will get the sample.
Well, it'll be a little perfect place right there.
Sorry?
So that looks like a little perfect spot right there.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah, these nodules are super dense in each of these buckets.
Yeah, really interesting. Sorry, we're still waiting for the vehicles to settle a little bit so we get a stable sampling spot.
I may back the ship up just a little more, still looks like.
Yeah, please, thank you.
Bridge nav, can we do another 20 meters? 20 meters, 225. I think Argus is starting to slow down.
Yeah, I think so. All right, maybe we'll try here. And if anything, we'll just pick up and move. Does this little nodule patch right about here, does that one look appropriate for you there, Kevin?
Yeah, as long as they're still rounded, I can't quite tell how spherical they are.
Okay. I think there might also be another bucket up to the upper left on Atalanta view. Do you want to go ahead and push on in there a bit, please?
Zooming in.
Yeah, I think those look great.
Okay. Pull wide, please.
Got
Full
nice
wide.
polished surface.
Little marbles. And Tim, would you mind making sure you're full wide on the camera?
Yep.
Thank you.
I can push it out a bit if you want.
Oh, the bucket, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, one moment.
That was weird.
Sorry?
You landed, like as you were landing, the boat like kind of came to a stop, thrusted to a stop.
Oh.
So it just felt like I was there.
Yeah, I arranged that for us.
Oh man,
Aw.
you're good. We're gonna get you more. You're all about the interactive experience.
That's correct, yes.
Would you mind looking down on the bubble for the handle of the bucket, please? Thank you. All the way back. don't have good visuals on anything right now. What's gonna have to do? Got the bungee instead.
Is that
This
a
is-
round magnet on the bottom of the scoop?
Yeah.
Oh,
Let's see if I can do this. Fine, I'll set it down. Stay.
nice.
That was totally planned.
That was deliberate.
That was very deliberate.
Oh wow, the craft arm's got some nice tats going on now.
Oh, come on. There. All right. Sorry for the brief delay. Go ahead and push on in there a bit, please.
Zooming in.
That's great there. Ooh. And a fling 'em across the sky here. Get that to clear.
That highlights how fine-grained this sediment is.
I was just thinking the same thing. It looks like sand, but then you touch it and it's just this super fine dust.
We can go for multiple scoops if you guys want.
I think that scoop is pretty good. We just need 4 or 5 nodules.
Okay,
Looks like a masterful scoop.
sure thing. All right, full wide, please. Go ahead and pop
Wide.
open the toolbox there.
The forward box, yeah?
Yeah.
Here it comes.
Roger.
Do we got the clearance for the sextant? Sure hope so.
Yeah, it looks like it'll be right. Yeah, you're good.
That's full out.
Roger. Would you mind following me in on the bubble, please? This is a fun grab. Sorry, I got a nodule over in lambda. Everything else went into omega. All right. Go ahead and close that one up. Is that good enough for you guys there?
Yeah, that's great. Thank you.
Great. Awesome. Thanks, Michael. Put this guy back. It's not going to go back easy, is it?
No, this entire little bit doesn't have a lot of pull. There's a lot of slack in it.
Yeah.
I feel like it made sense at the time.
Yeah. Put it here for a minute. Would you mind zooming in on bubble there, please? It's animus.
Look at that.
Let me get it.
Slick. Oh, look at that. That was a master class. I blame video games.
It's on there, right?
Yeah, it's on there. I saw it.
Saw it engage.
I saw magnetism engage.
Roger, Dodger. Cool beans. Anything else you guys want around here?
I don't see any biology, so I'm good.
Roger.
Yeah, I think we're ready to move on.
You ready to go, Jess?
Yeah, let's do it.
Did you just off the light?
Bridge
turn
nav,
off the-
Okay.
500 meters, 055.
Thank you.
Here we go.
Do we want to revisit the answer to where we get the current data from while we get moving again?
Ah, yeah, thank you. Yeah, I got a great answer. So it is model dependent, and to represent deep sea currents, you need to have good data basically on regional temperature and salinity as a function of depth, along with the detailed bathymetry and then accurate tidal forcing. And most of the basically currents in this area are due to internal waves generated by internal tides in the Johnson Atoll area coming from the Hawaiian Islands. So it's a very complicated model and very interesting stuff.
That is complex. So what's an internal wave?
So they are a type of water motion that can occur in the deep ocean. And I'm desperately trying to remember my physical oceanography now. But yeah, they tend to be deep and localized and propagate in a way where they don't appear necessarily on the surface. And I'm trying to remember, but I believe things like parts of the El Nino current forcing help generate internal waves as well. And I think Emil is going to chime in and give us a more detailed answer.
Thanks, you guys.
Going to have to spend more time brushing up on my oceanography, less time on the genetics. We have an answer from Emil. So an internal wave is a disturbance between density layers, often seen at the base of a mixed layer, but they can occur throughout the water column below the mixed layer. So the strongest ones are those generated by the tide as it interacts with steep bathymetry.
Cool, cool. The more you know.
So is that the kind of thing that would form in between, like, I don't know, like a river flowing out into the ocean where you have fresh and salt water meeting and you get that density difference there?
Yes, I think so. And you can also get different temperature layers down here. So it would be anywhere that those two layers interact.
Jess, so we're using Argus, right, as our second ROV?
We're actually using Atalanta right now.
Oh, okay.
We don't notice the difference between the two of them. Now,
I've done my job.
yeah, Argus is still needs to be serviced for some thruster troubleshooting. So we're using Atalanta. It's little cousin. They're all in the family, you know. The only difference is that Atalanta's smaller, so it really kind of does show a bit more of the heaves from the sea state.
I have another question for Jess. What are some of the biggest challenges you face when you're driving Hercules or flying Hercules?
Yeah, it's just being aware of all the different things that are going on and the different requests. You know, that's a fun one because it's part of this whole situational awareness when you're flying. But that's kind of inherent with the job. Challenges subsea that we face. Marine debris is a big one, especially if we see lines in the water from like ghost gear. That's pretty, that's a lot more challenging and not in a fun way. You know, it's interesting, but like that's actually just dangerous for the gear. Yeah, so I'd say, you know, being conscious of everything that's going on, that's fun. And then the maybe anthropogenic causes of stress are not as much fun. You know, we should pick up our trash. This is a public announcement, public service announcement, I suppose.
Why is Atalanta having so much issue turning? Do you think the current's that strong?
Yeah, the currents are a bit strong. Yeah, this is no hands on the stick. So we're moving pretty good.
I'm on I'm off like 10 degrees or so. Almost 15.
Yeah, you can maybe...
Due to drag and the current.
Yeah, I'd say currents a bit, but if you want to try cycling on and off auto heading, maybe it's just frozen.
No, because the thrusters are trying to go.
Hmm. Yeah, then maybe it's the current then.
Oh, I see. The interface has changed. Usually if I'm on Argus, I'm assuming it would have been the same. But the red is supposed to be me.
Hmm.
But it's not.
Yeah, there it is. This is going to be Herc on that one now. I think that it got fixed in one of the past GUIs.
I don't like it.
Anyone have any jokes? Really trying to find a way to get this transit, you know. Keep us all awake here. Got 2 more hours, guys.
You can make it. I believe. Doodle-doodle-doo.
I've been planning to look up jokes and then I totally forgot.
Oh,
And I just, they never stick in my brain long enough.
That's fair. I ask and then I actually never look up jokes, so I'm also no help right now.
it's also one of those things that like you have some and then someone says something and your brain just blanks, you know? That happens. Especially at 2 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
Local.
It's true.
Keep that in mind. This is the first one. This is a transitionary. A transitionary watch.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm sure we'll all bring our A game tomorrow. Or next watch, at least.
Yeah. Bring a dictionary book or those joke books.
Oh, I thought you meant just the dictionary. Like you just read out the dictionary to everybody. Learning on all kinds of different things.
Michael, remind me next watch to tell you my joke about sodium.
Oh, sorry, Tim, we can't hear you.
Oh, sorry.
You're just soft.
Oh, there it is. I was going to say, remind me next watch to tell you my joke about sodium. You know what, on second thought, nah.
Oh, wait, I didn't catch it because I didn't hear it still.
That's all it was.
Yeah, it was terrible.
I got it.
Ah, oh man. Sorry, I missed it.
I got it. Odd.
We finally had a tiny bit of biology and I didn't
Whoa.
catch the off mute. There was a
happened
little
here?
clear tunicate that just went off the bottom of the screen.
Did you turn something off?
I didn't turn anything off, no.
Okay.
It's weird that I didn't log that.
That all this just turned off for a second. Like a reset.
Sorry, Meredith. Did you want to go back to look at a tunicate?
I don't know if I'll be able to find it again. I just caught it. It's one of those, you see it right as it goes off the screen. You're not, oh, there it is. Just kind of lower right.
Oh, yeah, Raj.
There it is. This is one of these predatory tunicates that we see all over the Pacific.
Go ahead and push on in there a bit, please.
Zooming in.
I always think they look like puppets.
Kind of does, yeah. I can see it. All right, I'm going to have to boogie. A little wide, please.
Wide.
Oh my god. That's right, I can't hum, otherwise YouTube would just be like, flag us.
One of our scientists ashore has chimed in with a joke for us.
Oh, thank you.
Oh,
Yes.
man.
Why do seagulls fly over the sea?
Oh, I know this one. It's good. It's good.
It's not to get to the other side, is it?
No, because if they flew over the bay, they would be bagels.
Very tasty. You got Michael going.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Thank you, Lee, for that contribution.
Oh, it's 2 o'clock. Oh, man. That was unnecessarily funny. I'm tearing up a little. Oh my god, I needed that.
Gonna come on up a bit there, please.
Speaking of the hour, what's a comb jelly's favorite time of day?
Tim, you're quite soft still.
Oh, sorry. I'll talk up a little louder. What's a comb jelly's favorite time of day?
Comb jelly's favorite time of day.
No idea.
No idea, yeah.
10:04.
10:04. That's a good one.
Some of my ROV stuff, this one isn't updating, so.
Interesting. Okay. Is it just the Grafana screens?
It seems the Grafana screens are the ones that are being wonky. So, I'll pay them no mind for a little bit.
Roger.
But it is going to be important when we start looking at payout. So we need them to be reliable. Can I still bubble for a second?
Yeah, sure thing.
Is that a call to the right center, or?
To the right, so with the starfish, the sea star on it.
Oh yeah.
Something.
It's kind of low.
Go ahead and push on in there, please.
Zooming in.
It's a very dead coral. A little wide.
It is an X
A
coral,
little wider.
Yeah, sorry.
although providing some great substrate for the sea star to get up into the water column.
Oops, sorry.
We've got a hydroid just to the left of it.
Go ahead and push on in there a bit, please, Ian.
Zooming in.
Okay, sorry, I wasn't very well framed for you guys. I had the little cottontail in the background. All right, full wide, please.
Full wide.
See that little hydroid just to the left? Our hydroid was a corymorpha.
So Meredith, you said we're making our way up the seamount now? So we kind of started at the bottom and we're making our way up?
Yes, we started kind of down. We're on a ridge feature that's on the southwest slope of the seamount. We started at, I think, about 3,200 meters, and we're following this ridge line up till we get up towards the top, and then the dive is planned to kind of trace over several bump features that are up at the top of the seamount feature.
How embarrassing.
Is it just my imagination, or has the visibility improved a little bit?
Run away with me.
It's possible. Maybe that we're also staying closer to the bottom, so it's a bit clearer too. When we're up in the water column, it seems things get a little bit grainier and fuzzier.
Makes sense.
Chris, how far have we come on our track so far today?
How far total?
I guess how far in our watch?
Oh. Hang on. About 600 meters.
Right. Halfway through, so maybe we'll get a kilometer out of our watch today then.
Got a coral.
Oh,
The bamboo coral.
go ahead and do a partial zoom there, please.
Partial zoom.
Thank you. Just a slender little base. All right, full wide, please.
Full wide.
Yeah, we lost Grafana.
Roger. So the tension readout's still working all right? On the sinusoidal graph there.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll have to tell that to Tim. We really need like a dumble octopus sighting or something right now. I think that'll wake everyone up, right? Does anyone have one on call?
Let me make a few phone calls.
So is that a long distance phone call?
Yeah. Well, actually, no, because it'd be local right now. Usually it would be.
That would be local.
I mean, I really wouldn't want to sell anybody whose hopes and dreams were seeing basalts short. This is amazing. There's
That's true.
lots of great stuff here.
That's true. That's true.
This is an ideal dive.
Right. Doesn't get any better.
There's nothing clogging up the view, nothing in the way.
Clogging up the view.
None of that pesky biology.
Oh yeah, who needs that?
That's a nice.
Always remember, it could be a mud dive.
That's
That's true.
Oopsie.
That's true. That is very true.
Yeah, I'll take this any day. Mind coming up a wee bit there, please?
Yeah, I was. Own it. I'm on
Right.
it.
Got another coral pretending to be invisible.
We have a minute.
Just a good sign our density of biology to get in the way of the rocks should be improving.
Go ahead and push on in there a bit, please.
Zooming in.
See if it's alive or if it's a dead coral. Oh, it's still alive. No, it's dead. Very dead.
Very dead, just covered in hydroids.
Yeah. Very cool. Full wide, please.
What?
Well, it's just a new type of coral that's supposed to look dead.
That's the ultimate camouflage.
It's like the possum of the coral world.
Got a halotherian.
Quite heavy now. Sorry.
What was that?
There's the halotherian.
Halotherian.
There's sea cucumber, yeah. Go ahead and push on in there again, please.
Zooming in.
I'm a bit far, but no. Full wide.
Full wide.
All right, I'll get ahead. Sorry.
Yeah. Okay, hard to tell whether or not that rock's coming straight at me or not. remind me, what are my subdivisions on the
20 meters.
20 meters? Okay.
I was about to get all excited about another coral and then realized it was just sand and a rock.
Is it? Never mind.
Anybody else seeing interesting sort of shapes and objects and animal forms in the folding of the salt here?
Oh yeah. I feel like I've been going through like a Rorschach test this entire time.
Okay. Glad it's not just me.
I totally just saw a donut like 30 seconds ago.
That sounds really good.
A while back, I think I saw Dobby.
A Dobby.
Yeah,
Oh, from Harry Potter.
definitely.
We had to give it a sock. I think we're pretty heavy. We'll have to drop a plate pretty soon.
You don't even have that many rocks yet.
Nah, but yeah.
Well, you can grab a couple more when we drop the weight.
We can do that too. We could just, yeah. It's just when I go full up on my verticals, we're not really getting that far, that much kind of vertical jam, if you will. We're not pulling up really quickly. So it's a function of the current, and so in this type of current, I want to be a little bit lighter.
How do you drop weight? Is there like water ballast or something in the ROV?
No, we have weights that are made out of iron, and they have a hemp rope attached to them. Iron, steel. I think right now we have some steel that we're going to toss off. And then a hemp rope so that they both degrade in the water over time and we don't really leave a footprint after a couple decades.
Yeah.
It's like a disposable ballast.
That's a very informative answer. I was just gonna be like, Herc is on this exclusive weight loss program? Trying to figure it out for years.
Gibson can go into great detail about that. Did an entire design challenge on a new system to find other ways of ballasting Hercules.
That'd be nice. That's a good one. Okay, so do you mind? Thank you. Okay. I think I'm far enough ahead. I'm gonna sit down and throw off some weights. keep an eye on your sonar. And just hopefully this won't take too long.
Are you going to go starboard or port?
I'm gonna get just one of the little small roundy ones. Let me know if already. I don't want that. It's the last thing I want. Oh man, just goes right through the fingers. All right, I'll probably take it up and pretty.
Can you get it from the front?
Yeah, to go. All right, coming up. Oof. You don't know how fast. I'll try to get as fast as I can.
The moonscape view on Argus is really nice.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, okay.
All right, we cleared it. Let's not run into the side of a wall today, yeah? Sounds like a plan.
I did enough of my own, thanks.
Got a little coral going by on the right.
That was a rush.
Maybe a chrysagorgid.
Was that the kind of excitement you were looking for? No?
Not for dropping a weight.
Looks like a partly cemented nodule field here.
Yeah. All right, I feel like I'm far enough ahead now. I can sit down again.
Taking out the gloves.
Gloves come off.
What is this? Oh, I thought it was a piece of cheese.
So you got two now. I don't like that either.
Oh.
Yeah, let's do that. Oh.
I think the drawback is that they're all tied together.
Yeah, agreed.
Now, I am happy to grab a rock here if you want to drop an extra.
Ideally, I'm going to push those 2 back in there because we just have to dispose of the rock unless you want to sample another rock.
Yeah, I'm happy to grab one over here. We got let's see.
Grab one and just put one on the porch.
You want me to stop the ship?
Yeah, it'd be good to also get the lay back out. Is there any rock in particular you want?
Maybe this one. Let's see.
Okay. I can do that.
Bridge nav, 40 meters, 240.
Oops, sorry. Okay, sorry, would you mind illustrating one more time?
Let's try to see what this one looks like.
Sure.
All right.
It's a little small.
Little bitty one.
Oh, it's actually in there.
Oh,
We can try one more time if you want.
well, we can try this bigger one over here.
The bigger one might be harder to fit. Let's try this one more time. Oh, we can get it.
Yeah. All right.
Oh, it's
Hercules.
big. Ah, okay, that might be a bit too big for that box.
Well, we can drop it in E on top of the nodules since it's distinct from those. If there's still room in there. Not E, was it? The one next to lambda, omega.
Sure thing. I'm going to pick up and move a little bit ahead. And then we will stow this puppy. Doo-doo-doo.
Yeah.
Okay, and then we'll stow this in the forward bin, you said?
Yeah, on top of the nodules.
Okay, great. His arm's getting jumpy. All right, I'm going to stow it here. All right, would you mind popping open that forward bin there, please?
What the heck? Oh.
Great. And then when you get a chance, can you follow me in with the bubble? And then actually video, sorry, would you mind pushing in here, please, on the rock?
Certainly.
That's great. We'll just get a few stills for the back row. All right, that's good. Full wide, please.
Full wide.
Thank you.
You can tell how well that box seals up with all that sediment that's still flying out of it as soon as it opened.
All right, go ahead and pop the box back in, please.
Great work, thank you.
Thanks, guys. Team effort. I'll play catch up again. Awesome. All right. We'll play some catch up here.
Yeah. I was just making sure you got there, you know where to meet up. You know what I mean?
All right, I'll get a little closer now.
A few more corals going by.
Yeah, I'll get a bit closer so you can
Whoa.
actually see what they are, huh?
This is a trippy scene. Very dusty now.
Yeah.
You can see the chrysagorga in the down cam there, right over it.
Well, we're about to
yeah.
run over. Oh, I was looking at the rope. I was like, there it is.
So that's chrysagorga. And I'm not going to commit to a species because I don't know them well enough. That's we would call that a gold coral. And when you zoom in on them, they're really cool because they've got these little polyps all over, but the polyps each hang down. They're like a little bell, and they're kind of widely distributed along each branch.
That rope's going to be in our shots, isn't it?
You can do it. It is like attracted to that coral. You see it, right? Like it's.
Yeah. Go ahead and fish on in there. Weave it, please.
Push it in a little bit.
Oh, you can totally get in there.
Oh,
Got any more zoom in there?
So there.
Nice. Full wide, please.
Full wide.
Yeah.
Go ahead here. Can you tell if there's a loop in our tether there?
From what cam?
From your butt cam there.
If like, no, it didn't look, I think it was just like the excess from the float, but I don't think there would be a loop. There's no way to, I mean, I can go low a little bit, but you're right below me, so I wouldn't want to do that.
What's that on the left?
So there's a large dead sponge beneath us now, which probably means that up ahead there's some interesting large sponges.
I hope so.
Got a little coral to the right of the lasers.
Oh yeah, another one of those bamboo corals.
Yep, that's another bamboo. Unbranched form.
Starting to get into a few more corals here too, which is nice.
Hey, Onye,
Yes.
what's the most interesting question that's come in on the feed tonight?
Okay, interesting question. Well, I did see a question about possibly changing channel 3 to, I guess, the map of where we are. I don't know if that's possible.
On one of the quad feeds.
Yeah, I don't think I can get... That's my next lesson, I think. I can do cameras right now, but I'm not sure about computer screens.
Yeah, so we'll probably do that in the next watch. But let's see.
There's a sponge here.
Yeah, like right behind you.
Yeah.
So I believe we have Bob Ballard joining us, and I think he's wanting us to, if we go over dead corals or sponges, to kind of ID them if we can, or collect them. I don't know if that's on our scientists' agenda, but if we can also ID them,
Sure thing.
that'd be cool.
Go ahead and push on in there a bit, please.
This is a really nice sponge.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
Really nice glass sponge.
It's pretty, yeah. I like the little tubes on the top there. Pretty interesting. Oops.
I believe this is a feride. Yes, this is a feride glass sponge.
Very cool. So we can get a look at the inside of it before we have to go.
Yeah, that's really beautiful.
Okay, full wide, please.
Full
You can do one
wide.
of those rocket drone shots on your, you know what I mean?
And like way behind you now. I was like, oh, got it. No, it'll take me a bit longer than.
Definitely getting into some more biology.
Yeah, it seems like they favor these steep ridges that are protruding from the main ridge.
Another sponge coming up.
Yeah.
You can get ahead on this one.
Got some big cliffs coming up too, yeah. Go ahead and do a quick zoom there, please.
Zooming in.
That's good, thank you. The striations on it's pretty interesting. The stalk.
Yeah, I like how the texture there totally changes from the kind of striped stalk to then you can see all the little oscula up on
Yeah.
the main body.
All right, full wide, please.
Full wide.
Hop over these cliffs.
Parkour.
Parkour, rock core.
What kind of organism was that last one?
That was a sponge.
Yeah, that's a glass sponge. Possibly a hyalinema, but I am not 100% certain, but they have that stalked form like that.
Artist shot, or the Atalanta shot's cool. You can really see all these like fissures and pits. Probably not fissures, that's not the right word, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, these
The crevices and stuff.
Crevices,
deep kind of
yeah.
canyons between these upper formations.
Yeah, very cool. Looks like a little column.
Yeah, a little spire. Probably
Yeah.
a vent where the actual pillar basalt's coming out of. Or it's just an erosional feature. It's kind of hard to tell.
It was a very sudden transition from kind of the flat, more bouldery manganese nodule areas to now this really, really steep terrain.
Yeah,
Yeah.
beautiful cliff.
Would you mind looking around 060 there? Oh, it looks like it's trying, huh,
Yeah.
Reg?
That's quite a feature.
Yeah.
Needs more biology.
Needs more biology. Another sponge there.
I have a heading of 6-0.
Reg.
Um,
And another stalked sponge kind of down there to the right, lower right-hand corner.
I'm still not getting a lot of thrust. It's unfortunate.
hey, what?
Hey
So,
Tim,
Yeah.
would you mind putting up the high voltage cabinet in where, do you see where the Niskin shot is right there? On the
Ooh,
monitor,
okay.
it looks like maybe if I just redo the dive salvo. Oh, there we go. Never
There
mind.
we go.
All right, coming down.
little bitty baby sponge in the bubble.
I'm going to update my guess on these stalked sponges from hyalinema to euplectellidae. Other than, I think this one coming up may be another feride.
Go ahead and do a snap zoom there, please.
Snap zoom.
That should be good there.
That's just, that one is probably, that's a dead broken off skeleton of another feride. You can see that it's getting kind of dirty. That's usually a very good sign that they are deceased.
Pull
And
wide,
with the
please.
glass
Pull
sponges,
wide.
their spicules confuse and they basically become a rock.
Ooh.
Another farreidae.
That's another feride. Yeah, this one, I think this one is also dead.
Another little fish.
you mind closing the iris a little bit, please?
Certainly.
Tim, this is also your first day as the videographer, video engineer. Hey,
It is, yeah.
good job.
Thanks. A few different moving pieces.
If we see any more or some more of these ferides, we want to make sure we're in a decent sized community of them. They are on Chris Kelly's wish list.
Sure thing. I'm assuming for a sample and not for eDNA?
Yes, for a sample.
Great. Yeah, go ahead. I have 3 beams, so it might throw us off a bit, but... Thank you. Great, thank you. Michael, if you want to, I'm going to probably stay here off the cliff face from you for a while. If you want, you can come to like 015 or so, and I'll lateral along the screen.
That is a copy. Get you in the shot a bit. This pan and tilt's kind of wonky.
Another stalked sponge there.
Really, the last hour. For those just getting up on the west coast.
Mm.
My mom's on the West Coast and she might be watching now. And if you are, Mom, I love you.
Neat visual in the Atalanta camera.
It's a really nice Atalanta shot there. See the overall. Oh, nice little chrysagorgid.
You're welcome. But I'm risking it.
How would you spell the name of that last coral we just saw?
That will be a chrysagorga, which is CHRYSOGORGIA. And I'm guessing that one was actually a genticulata, but I wouldn't hold myself to that once we get it up on the surface if we were to sample it, because
That sounds like a type of gelato.
Ooh, there's a nice sponge. Lower
oh
right.
yeah, there's another
See
nice
another
sponge.
one. We can do a drive-by here. Go ahead and push on in there, please.
Zooming in.
Based on what I'm seeing in the guide, these are probably in the genus
Full wide, please.
Aspidoscopulia, but even in the guide, they come with a big question mark after them, which is one of the reasons they're on Dr. Kelly's wish list.
Oh, cool. Yeah, go ahead. You said when there's a larger there's a larger aggregation of them?
I think we've seen enough in the area that if we see one now that's in a good position for sampling, it would be great to get a piece if we can.
Sure thing. Are those relatively crumbly, or what's
Yes,
the...
those will be pretty delicate. We should be able to slurp one.
Okay, yeah, that sounds good.
Whoa.
nice blocky
Yeah,
lava flow will make some good rock climbing.
right. It almost looks like a big sort of face of it, like kind of broke off.
Yeah, it's probably a sector collapse or something where, yeah, that looks more like the interior. Then on the right, you can see what it would look like if it's undisturbed, just smoothed over with ferromanganese.
It would be terrible for placing pro.
Yeah,
There's no cracks.
yeah.
Sector collapse. I have to write that down.
There's another dead sponge base there.
Do we know how old this lava rock is?
The seamount hasn't been sampled or explored yet, so technically no. There's some seamounts just above and just south of this that are around 98 to 95, so I'm assuming it's in that range. 98 to 95 million years old.
Are you going to be dating the rocks you have collected here to confirm that?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, this seamount's part of like a small seamount trail, and it records kind of a bend where it goes from going kind of northwestward to then pointing towards the west, or west, northwest, southeast to east-west. And we think that then records a change in the Pacific Plate's motion at around 100 million years ago. And so we're trying to get seamounts from before and after that bend to try to really get the age of when that occurred and what drove it.
What kinds of methods do you use to date the rocks?
The main method we use is called argon geochronology, or 4039 argon geochronology. It's an radiometric dating technique. It's a derivative of potassium argon dating, where potassium 40 decays down to argon 40 through time at a known rate, so we can measure, both the parent and the daughter and figure out how old it is. The method I use in my lab is argon 4039, because you can't measure potassium, which is a solid, and argon, which is a gas, in the same instrument. And so I irradiate the sample using